What if the thoughts you're having right now aren't just floating around in your mind, but are actually tuning into an invisible field of abundance that surrounds you? What if money, opportunities, and breakthroughs aren't random at all, but responses to the frequency your brain is silently broadcasting every second? Most people think manifestation is magic or luck. But Jacobo Grinberg, one of the most mysterious scientists of our time, believed something far more shocking. He believed your brain is not just a machine that thinks, it's a device that receives and shapes reality itself. And if you know how to tune it, even slightly, you can shift your life in ways that look impossible from the outside. Today, you're about to learn a rare neuroscience-based vibration technique inspired by Grinberg's work, a method you can practice in just 5 minutes to align your mind with financial abundance. Not through wishful thinking, not through blind belief, but through the science of how your brain interacts with the field around you. But before we go into the technique, you need to understand the man behind it, because once you know who he was, you'll understand why this works. Jacobo Grinberg wasn't a guru, a mystic, or a spiritual influencer. He was a trained neurophysiologist and psychologist from Mexico, a scientist obsessed with decoding consciousness itself. While most researchers focused on the brain as a biological organ, Grinberg proposed something far more daring, that human consciousness is woven into a universal field of information, a fabric that connects every thought, every emotion, and every outcome we experience. He believed the brain doesn't just create reality, it interacts with reality, much like a radio tuning into different frequencies, and your emotional state, your attention, your internal vibration, all of that determines what station you connect with. Abundance or scarcity, opportunity or blockages, flow or resistance. Now here's where things get even more intriguing. Grinberg didn't just theorize, he tried to measure it. He ran experiments with shamans, meditators, healers, and his data began revealing patterns that mainstream science couldn't explain. Synchronized brainwaves across distances, shared perception, changes in neural activity that matched changes in emotional frequency. He was getting close to something big, and then he vanished. Completely. No body, no clues, no explanation. His disappearance only added mystery to his life's work, and many believe he uncovered something that could reshape how we understand consciousness and human potential. And that's why this video matters, because the method you're about to learn is rooted in the same insights Grinberg spent decades studying. Insights about the brain's ability to tune into abundance, insights about how emotional vibration shapes perception, and insights about why small internal shifts can cause sudden changes in your external life, especially with money. If you want to understand why some people effortlessly attract opportunities while others stay stuck in the same patterns, this video will show you the missing link. And if you stay till the end, you'll learn the exact 5-minute process that helps your brain tune into abundance, the same way a radio locks onto a clear signal. So take a breath, open your mind just a little, and let's explore the secret neuroscience behind vibration, manifestation, and the hidden field Jacobo Grinberg devoted his life to understanding. Welcome to Awakened Synchronicity, and if you're ready to dive deeper into consciousness, transformation, and your true potential, make sure you subscribe. Before we talk about the technique, we need to step into the heart of Jacobo Grinberg's work, the part most people never hear about, yet it's the key to everything that comes next. Grinberg wasn't trying to prove mystical ideas or create another spiritual theory. He was trying to map reality itself, and to do that, he developed something called la teoria sintergica, the Sintergic theory. Now, this theory can sound complex at first, but its essence is beautifully simple. Grinberg believed that behind everything we see, everything we feel, and everything we experience, there exists a universal informational field, almost like an invisible lattice made of pure potential. According to him, this field isn't physical, the way a table or a wall is physical. It's more like a deep structure of information, a blueprint that shapes the world we perceive. Imagine reality as a giant woven fabric. Every thread is information, vibration, possibility. Most people only see the surface of that fabric, the events, the objects, the situations. But Grinberg was interested in what lies underneath, what creates those patterns, what organizes our experience. And that's where the Sintergic theory comes in. He suggested that the brain is not a generator of reality, but a translator of that universal lattice. In other words, your brain is not producing the world, it's tuning into the world. Just like a radio doesn't create music, it captures signals that are already in the air. If you think about it that way, everything begins to shift. Your thoughts aren't just mental chatter, they're frequencies. Your emotions aren't just moods, they're signals. And the way you focus your attention becomes the dial of that inner radio, choosing which part of the field you connect to. This is where things get fascinating. Because if the brain is tuning into this informational field, then your internal vibration, the combination of your emotional state, intention and focus can change what you perceive and how reality interacts with you. Grinberg believed that we are constantly shaping our version of the world, not by force but by resonance. When your mind is chaotic, filled with fear, doubt or stress, it's like trying to tune a radio station while someone keeps shaking the antenna. The signal becomes noisy, distorted, unclear. You miss opportunities, overlook synchronicities, and attract experiences that match that inner confusion. But when your internal vibration becomes coherent, when your emotions, thoughts, and intentions align, the tuning becomes sharp. The signal becomes clear, and suddenly you begin to connect with parts of the informational field that correspond to abundance, flow, inspiration, and creativity. Grinberg's experiments backed this up. He observed that people in meditative or focused emotional states showed more synchronized brain activity. Their signal was stronger. Their perception widened. They became more sensitive to subtle information around them. To him, this wasn't spirituality. It was neuroscience meeting the fabric of reality. He believed that intention acts like a directional force, guiding your consciousness towards specific sectors of the lattice. That means when you hold a clear intention, you're not wishing, you're choosing a frequency. You're choosing which version of reality you want to tune into. And when emotion enters the mix, especially emotions like gratitude, joy, or confidence, the signal becomes even more powerful. Emotion adds energy to the intention, strengthening the connection between your brain and the field. So before we talk about how to manifest money in 5 minutes, we have to understand this. According to Sintergic theory, you're not manifesting by forcing reality to bend. You're manifesting by tuning yourself to the version of reality where abundance already exists. This is the foundation of everything Grinberg taught. And once you understand it, the technique becomes far more powerful than just a simple exercise. Before we talk about how vibration and frequency play a role in manifestation, we need to understand how Jacobo Grinberg's work merges neuroscience with the subtle energy of reality. Grinberg proposed that the brain doesn't just generate thoughts or perceptions, it actively tunes into a vast informational field underlying everything. He called this the lattice, a universal network of energy and information that connects all things. This field isn't empty, it's alive with structure and patterns that our minds can interact with. Our neurons don't just fire randomly. Every pulse, every wave in the brain contributes to a dynamic field of energy within us. Grinberg referred to this as the neuronal field. When our brain waves synchronize and our neural networks are coherent, this internal field becomes more organized. This coherence is key. The more ordered our internal field, the better it can resonate with the universal lattice. Think of it as tuning a radio. When the signal inside us is clear, we can connect to the frequency of reality itself. This means that our perceptions, emotions, and intentions are not passive. They are energetic interactions with the field. When we feel focused, calm and positive, our brainwaves synchronize, creating a high-frequency state that can align with abundance, opportunity, and creativity. Grinberg's insight was that these internal states are not separate from the world. They are part of a feedback loop. Our mental and emotional coherence shapes how reality unfolds around us. Grinberg's approach allows us to see vibration in a new way. Here, vibration isn't mystical. It's a metaphor for the coherence of neural and emotional states. When your mind is chaotic, scattered, or full of fear, your internal signal is weak and alignment with the field is disrupted. But when you cultivate focus, clarity, and positive intention, your brain enters a high coherence state. This strengthens the connection between your mind and the universal lattice, making you more receptive to opportunities and synchronicities. The brain itself is highly adaptable. Through repeated practice of focus, intention, and emotional alignment, we can physically reshape our neural pathways. Our thoughts, feelings, and mental habits literally rewire the brain, creating stronger pathways for high-frequency states. This is the science behind why vibration and intention work hand in hand. By creating internal coherence, we naturally become more attuned to abundance and possibilities. When your brain and emotions are aligned, your internal frequency resonates with the universal field. It's not about forcing outcomes or controlling external events. It's about creating an internal state that naturally attracts experiences, opportunities, and even money. The coherence of your neural field amplifies your intentions and projects them outward, interacting with the lattice in subtle but powerful ways. This understanding changes how we view manifestation. It's not just wishful thinking, it's a process grounded in the natural interaction between the brain and the universal field. By tuning your internal state, your thoughts, your emotions, your focus, you create the conditions for the world around you to respond. Even brief moments of high coherence can influence your connection with the field, setting the stage for meaningful shifts in your life. Grinberg's work shows us that our brains are more than organs of thought. They are resonators, receivers, and transmitters of energy. When we consciously cultivate internal coherence, we are not merely imagining outcomes, we are aligning with the deeper structure of reality itself. This alignment is the foundation for practical manifestation. Understanding this neural energetic connection is the first step toward using vibration intentionally. Once you grasp how your brain and emotions can tune into the universal field, you can begin to practice techniques that enhance coherence, amplify your intentions, and open yourself to the flow of abundance. It's not magic, it's neuroscience meeting consciousness in its most practical form. By learning to harmonize your internal vibration, you create a powerful link between your mind and the lattice. This is the bridge between intention and reality, the space where thought meets possibility and where focused consciousness can start manifesting tangible results. When the brain is coherent, emotions are positive and intentions are clear, you are effectively tuning into the universal frequency that supports abundance, growth, and opportunity. This is the essence of Grinberg's insight. Your brain is not just thinking, it is tuning, resonating, and interacting with the very structure of reality. By understanding this, we begin to see how vibration, coherence, and intention become the key tools for shaping our experiences and manifesting the life we desire. Jacobo Grinberg was not a man of mere speculation. He sought to understand consciousness through rigorous scientific methods. While exploring its mystical dimensions, he conducted experiments using EEGs to measure brain activity in both ordinary and altered states. Through these studies, he observed how different patterns of brainwaves corresponded to shifts in perception, attention, and awareness. By comparing normal waking states to deep meditation, trance, or shamanic rituals, he began to map the way the brain interacts with consciousness itself. These experiments were not abstract. They were designed to detect measurable changes in neural coherence, synchronization, and frequency, showing that the mind's engagement with reality is both tangible and quantifiable. Grinberg's work with shamans was particularly illuminating. He spent years studying indigenous practices, observing how shamans entered altered states, and documenting their techniques. Through careful measurement, he found that their experiences were not just metaphorical, but correlated with unique patterns in brain activity. These studies revealed a bridge between the mystical and the scientific, proving that ancient spiritual practices could be understood through the lens of modern neuroscience. The rituals, chants, and meditative exercises that shamans used to influence perception and reality had clear neurological signatures, which aligned with the principles of the lattice and neuronal field that Grinberg described. This dual approach allowed Grinberg to validate mystical phenomena. In scientific terms, he showed that consciousness is not confined to individual experience, but interacts with a wider, coherent field of energy and information. This field, which he called the lattice, could be influenced by internal states of coherence, focus, and intention. The brain, in turn, acts as both receiver and transmitter within this field. When the brain achieves high-frequency coherence, it aligns with the lattice, allowing the practitioner to experience enhanced perception, insight, and even subtle shifts in reality. However, this does not mean that manifestation is a simple or automatic process. Aligning with these frequencies requires intentional effort and sincere practice. This is not a magic trick to instantly summon money or success. Emotional blockages, fear, doubt, or skepticism can interfere with the brain's ability to achieve coherence and tune into the lattice. The process demands patience, consistency, and a deep commitment to internal alignment. Without this internal harmony, attempts to influence reality remain weak or inconsistent. Even small daily practices can have powerful effects over time. For instance, someone who dedicates 5 minutes each day to centering themselves, aligning their emotions, and focusing on a specific intention may begin to notice subtle changes. Opportunities can appear seemingly by chance. A side project, a new client, or an unexpected idea that opens doors. These shifts are often subtle at first, but over time they compound. The brain becomes conditioned to enter coherent states more easily, making it more receptive to synchronicities and aligned experiences. Small tuning shifts in the mind can ripple outward, influencing the way the world responds and creating a feedback loop of positive alignment. Hypothetical examples illustrate this well. Imagine a person who starts their day with a 5-minute focus on gratitude, clarity, and a specific financial goal. At first, the results are small, noticing helpful information in conversations, seeing opportunities where none existed before, feeling more confident in decision-making. As the practice continues, these micro-changes accumulate. The person begins to act from a state of high coherence, making decisions that naturally align with their intentions. This demonstrates the power of Grinberg's approach. It's the internal tuning, not external force, that facilitates manifestation. Real-world anecdotes from Grinberg's research reinforce this principle. His disciples and study participants reported that even brief periods of concentrated focus and intentional mental coherence could lead to unexpected insights or meaningful outcomes. Shamans and meditative practitioners, when measured consistently, exhibited high neural coherence during their practices, supporting the idea that focused internal states can produce tangible effects in the world. This reinforces the concept that manifestation is as much about cultivating the right internal shimpri as it is about external action. To deepen the practice, it helps to combine the 5-minute technique with complementary methods. Meditation enhances awareness and helps stabilize the mind. Journaling allows reflection and reinforces clarity of intention. Brain coherence exercises, such as controlled breathing or rhythmic focus techniques, strengthen the neural pathways associated with high-frequency states. Each of these practices amplifies the mind's ability to tune into the lattice, improving the efficacy of manifestation. Studying Grinberg's work further illuminates these methods. Reading his books and exploring his theories provides insight into the mechanics of consciousness and the lattice, deepening understanding beyond the surface techniques. Knowledge of the underlying principles allows practitioners to refine their practices and experiment consciously with alignment and frequency. Daily reflection, practice, and careful observation of results are essential. Tracking subtle changes, noticing patterns, and adjusting intentions based on experience strengthens both neural coherence and energetic alignment. Consistency is crucial. The brain and mind respond to repeated, focused attention. The more regularly one practices alignment techniques, the more natural and effortless the states of coherence become. Over time, tuning into the lattice can shift from deliberate practice to an intuitive, almost automatic process. The internal state of high coherence becomes a default, shaping perception, action, and the reception of opportunities in daily life. Ultimately, Grinberg's work bridges the mystical and scientific realms, offering a practical path for aligning consciousness with the underlying field of reality. His research demonstrates that internal states, our focus, emotions, and intentions have measurable, observable effects on the brain and, through the lattice, the world around us. This alignment is not instantaneous magic. It is a disciplined practice that nurtures the brain, mind, and energy field, creating conditions for manifestation to emerge naturally. By cultivating internal coherence, patience, and consistent practice, individuals can harness the principles Grinberg uncovered, bringing subtle yet powerful shifts into their everyday lives. Even brief moments of focus, intention, and emotional alignment have the potential to accumulate into profound changes. By dedicating time each day to tune the brain, align emotion, and clarify intention, anyone can begin to interact with the lattice in a meaningful way. The process is both practical and transformative, blending rigorous neuroscience with timeless mystical insights. It shows that manifestation is not about wishing or forcing outcomes. It is about cultivating the inner state that naturally resonates with opportunity, abundance, and possibility. Your brain is far more than a simple thinking machine. It is a powerful receiver, capable of tuning into frequencies and vibrations that extend beyond your immediate senses. Jacobo Grinberg taught us that when your brain achieves high coherence, when your neural activity and emotions align in harmony, you are not just observing reality, you are participating in it. This means that the thoughts, intentions, and emotions you cultivate internally have the power to interact with the universal lattice, the underlying field that shapes the world around you. Manifestation is not a mystical guessing game. It is a natural outcome of alignment between your inner state and the energetic patterns that permeate reality. By practicing techniques that promote internal coherence, you create a resonance with abundance itself. This is not simply about thinking positively or imagining money. It is about tuning your mind, your emotions, and your focus to the field where abundance resides. When you do this, your brain acts as a sophisticated receiver, capable of picking up subtle opportunities and guidance that you might otherwise overlook. The 5-minute practice we explored in this video is designed precisely for this purpose. It is short, simple, and accessible to anyone, yet profoundly effective when done consistently. Center yourself, focus your intention, align your emotions with gratitude and joy, and visualize your goal. Then release, trusting the field to respond. The key is to remember that manifestation is about alignment, not force. You are not forcing money or opportunities into your life. You are aligning yourself with the frequency where these things naturally occur. The more consistently you practice, the more attuned your brain becomes. You will notice subtle changes first: a new idea, a chance encounter, or an unexpected opportunity. These small shifts are the universe responding to your internal alignment. Over time, they compound, creating a momentum that can dramatically transform your circumstances. We want to hear from you. Try the 5-minute practice for yourself and observe what changes in your life. Notice how your thoughts, decisions, and even interactions begin to feel more aligned. Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story may inspire someone else to start their own journey of internal tuning and manifestation. Engaging with this community helps all of us see the tangible effects of these practices and reinforces the power of collective learning and shared experiences. If you found value in this video, please take a moment to like it, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. By subscribing to Awakened Synchronicity, you ensure that you won't miss future insights into the fascinating interplay between consciousness, neuroscience, and manifestation. Every video we create is designed to help you understand how your mind interacts with the universe, how your internal states shape your external reality, and how you can harness these principles to live a life of greater abundance, clarity, and purpose. And there's much more to come. In future videos, we will explore additional techniques inspired by Jacobo Grinberg's work, diving deeper into his experiments with brain coherence, meditation, and the mystical practices of shamans. We will also examine the neuroscience behind manifestation more broadly, uncovering how brain waves, intention, and emotion collaborate to create shifts in reality. These upcoming videos will give you more tools, exercises, and insights to further refine your ability to tune into the field of abundance. Remember, the journey of tuning your brain and aligning with abundance is ongoing. Each moment of focus, each conscious intention, and each emotional alignment strengthens your ability to resonate with the universal field. By practicing regularly, reflecting on your experiences, and observing the subtle shifts in your reality, you are taking an active role in co-creating your life. This is the essence of Jacobo Grinberg's teaching. Consciousness is not a passive witness to reality, it is an active participant, a receiver, and a transmitter. So take action today. Set aside just 5 minutes to center yourself, align your emotions, visualize your goals, and release the outcome. Notice how your internal vibration shifts and observe the ways the universe responds. Share your results, inspire others, and keep experimenting. With patience, consistency, and sincerity, you can harness the power of your brain's coherence to align with abundance and manifest the life you desire. Thank you for watching Awakened Synchronicity. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss a chance to deepen your understanding of consciousness and manifestation. Your journey is just beginning, and the field of possibilities is waiting for you to tune in and participate.